Okay. Very good morning, guys. Okay. So last class, we just been talking about Web API core, right? And talking about Web API core, I said you that Web API core is exactly same as a Web API only, but some extra features that are enabled. One is we are given with a Swagger. We are given with a Swagger tool for testing the API. If at all you want to test APIs, if at all you want to test API in our MVC 5, what we used to do, we used to explicitly go for Postman or Fiddler, Postman and Fiddler and use it. And but if at all you come to here, the built-in tool that is available called Swagger, we can straight away go for using the Swagger in our code. Okay. Now, last class already we have created one API. What is the name of it? Given a name to a project. Web API core service, I think. Yes, core web API service, core web API service. And in the first step, we added one XML file, right? And then in the second step, we defined a model class. In the third step, we have defined one interface for implementing dependency injection. And the fourth step, we defined our DAL class, the DAL class. And right now we are implementing the DAL class with XML. And all these functionalities and all we learned in our previous project already. Okay, how to manipulate and everything. Then in the next step, in the startup class, we are just registering our service now, dependency injection service by calling a method called add scope. Okay, and in the step 6, what we defined is a API controller, and the API controller we written all the methods for get, post, and all the things. Okay, these are the methods what we just defined. The methods are ready now. So what next? We just also tried or tested all these methods from Swagger. We already tested up all the methods from the Swagger. From Swagger, I just shown you how to test up all the things. Fine. My next step is I want to consume the API service using jQuery Ajax within the same project. Yeah, I said you in MVC 5 also shown you 3 examples to you. First example, using jQuery Ajax, same project. Second, using jQuery Ajax, another project. So there you are required to enable cors. And third one, using C# code and calling by using HTTP client class. We have a class called HTTP client. With the help of the HTTP client class, how to call it, I just shown you all these particular options there. Now also, I'm showing you the same things only. Is it clear or not? Okay, now also what I'm going to do is show you the same things only in this case. So let me open the core web API service. I want this service to be continuously running. I want the service to be continuously running. Then host it on local IIS. Because you remember IIS Express, if it all is an IIS Express or Kestrel, you have to keep them running now. But if you host an IIS, it will be running in the background continuously. So I opened up Studio in admin mode. Okay. So let us go to the project properties. In the left hand side, you're required to choose this option. What is it? Debug. Open debug, launch profiles UI. Create a new profile. IS profile created. IS profile is what I just wanted to create. Name it. IS. Yeah, we're required to give the UI environment. Okay. Next one, we require to select the launch browser. Next, we just require to use app URL. We just require to use the app URL. So come below app URL or app URL here slash or project name. What's it? Core Web API Service. Remaining all are going to be the same. We okay, Core API Service. Save and close. Now we should get IS profile here. Run once. Just use slash Swagger and you'll get the Swagger UI and you can just test it from here. Get right out, execute. Last class I already shown you how to test it in the Swagger. Okay, nothing here for the URL. If it is IS Express, what is the URL? Localhost port number slash Swagger. To the IS HTTP localhost slash core web API service slash Swagger. That's it. There in the last you simply say slash Swagger. We'll launch the Swagger. So once Swagger is launched, you can just test it all the things already shown you in the last class. Now your project is running under IS. Guys, without using Swagger, can I directly call the get in the browser? Yeah, how do you call? API. What do you require to write? Slash API slash. What is the controller? Customer. Huh? Slash API slash customer. I don't want Swagger to launch. Directly, I want to use the URL. So copy this URL because this is the URL what you require to use in your code now. Yes or not? We are not calling Swagger. We require to call the URL for the get post and all the things. So this is your URL, guys. Remember. And this is the URL what you require to use in our jQuery. In the jQuery to call. Okay. By telling the method as get or post or whatever it is. Okay, fine. Okay. Add a new controller in the current project and should be an MVC controller. Name it as a home controller and add a view to the default index action method and write the below code. So add a controller, guys. Right click, add controller. Oh, it's in run mode. Stopped it. Add controller. Don't add a API controller. Add a MVC controller. Remember last class we selected API, but now it is MVC controller only. MVC controller. Give a name for it. What name I used? Home controller. Okay. Home controller. And by default, home controller comes with a default index action method. Don't do anything. Directly right click, add view, and create a view. Raster view empty, index.css. Okay. Now I just wanted to write my HTML code here. By head, by body, by HTML. Title, web API core, something. Now I want to use jQuery. I want to use jQuery. Or if at all you want to use jQuery, one option, install jQuery in your code. Otherwise, just go for using the CDN. Go for using the CDN. I'm using a CDN in my code. I'm using a CDN in my code. But this is the old version. But the latest is 7.0, right? 3.7, right? Yeah, 3.7 is the latest version. Okay. I used Bootstrap earlier, but I did not use jQuery earlier. Okay. We'll just search it in a Google. jQuery CDN. Yeah, guys, 3.7. What do you want? Minified. Click on that. Copy. Paste. So mandatory to use this. Your choice, man. You download and use it or just use it. Nothing. Both are same only. I just shown you a different option. That's all. Because till now what we are trying is only downloading. But now without downloading, I'm just using the CDN link there. Okay, fine. Now, just let us write the required jQuery code now. Let us write the jQuery code. But first, design the UI. Design a UI first. How you want the output to be coming up and all. So first, I want a table to show my output. I just want a table to show my output. And also, I want I just want a table to show my output. So in the body, I'm writing some style for the body. And then a form tag. Look, guys. Then we have table. What is the name? Table customers, border is equals to 1. TH, T-body. Explained all these things to as it is for you in the MVC 5 classes to you. And here I have a div. This div is to show the messages to user. If any messages, actually, generally we show messages with the alerts. Sometimes clients can ask you, what is it? Show me on-screen messages. Don't show me alert boxes. Client requirements will be there like this. Recently, we got a new project. The project was built in VB. The project was built in VB. Now the client came out with a requirement to build a project in .NET Core, .NET Core 6. And in the specifications, it was clearly given as, what is it? Till now, our message boxes are alerts. Show us on-screen messages. Don't want alerts. So that's why to show the messages on screen, I used a div tag. Is that clear? Okay. So fine. This is the body what I have. So very simple, guys. What we have is only a tabular format to display the output. Sir, what about adding new records? What about adding new records? I'm showing a new style here. I'm showing a new style. What is that? Earlier to add a record, we've taken text boxes on the right side and just done it. Not like this, but today, like our MVC, beside the record only, I want to give edit and delete options. Edit and delete options. Another style. When you click on edit, it should show you text boxes to edit now. It should show you text boxes to edit now. And same way, delete should ask you confirmation to delete. And for insert, I want to have some text boxes for you, either on the top of the grid or bottom of the grid. Every time these text boxes will be there with the insert button. You enter a record, click on insert, will insert the record. Okay, let me show you the output so you understand much better. And all that code should be done in jQuery now. All that should be, the rendering table should be done in the jQuery now. Why? jQuery should call the API. Now load the API data and display the output for you. Okay? Script. I'm writing a script tag for writing the jQuery code. My first jQuery function is, I want to write a function for loading the customer data. I want to write a jQuery function for loading the customer data. Guys, have a look. What is my function name? Remember $.ajax URL. Just now I said you the URL. What is the URL? Core web API service / customer. Type. Data type. Success. If it is success, call a function. Which function? Customer's function. And it is going to build you the table now. It is going to build you the table. Recollect, earlier I was shown, success, call a function called F1. Failure, call a function called F2. Separately written F1, F2. And on the day only I said what is it? Without writing separate functions, you can write the code here also. You can write the code directly here. So directly with the success, we are calling a function. What do you call a function name? Anonymous. I want this function only for this purpose. See, generally, named functions, anonymous functions. Named functions means we give names to functions when you want to call it for multiple times. Anonymous, one time, just go with anonymous now. So your function, no name, anonymous. What are you passing for it? The list, because the written type of the method is a list of customers. Remember? Passing it. See the first line? Clearing the body if present. First time not present, but second time present. So the body is empty. Body or empty. See, what is TPL customers? Our table name. Body. Dot empty. Clearing it. Now, TPL customers got append. I'm appending. What I'm appending? Watch it carefully. What I'm appending? A row, TR. TD. Input. What is ID? Type. Style. Width 50. I'm adding one text box there. I'm adding one text box. For what, sir? For entering a new record. Yeah, I'm adding a text box for entering a new record. Tomorrow, if you want to enter a new record, and that only you'll find text boxes to enter a new record now. Second, by TD. Again, TD. Name text box. Next, balance. Next, city. Next, status. How many columns are there? Let's see. In the bottom, we just define the table here now. What is the sixth column? In the actions column, I want to put the buttons now. Insert button, edit button, delete button. You learned web forms. You should remember all these things automatically. You've done the same in web forms already. Only people learning MVC for them new. Okay, but you came from web forms, you know all these things in the web forms. I shown you all the options here. In the first row, what do you have? Text boxes with the insert button. From second row onwards, data rows will come with the edit and delete buttons. First row is for insert. Okay. Now count the number of columns here. TR, first TD, okay. Second TD, name. Third TD, balance. Fourth TD, city. Fifth TD, checkbox. See there, checkbox. And now sixth TD should be a button. Watch, guys. Watch, sixth TD. Align equal to Input type is button. What is the ID? Insert. Value on click. See there, I'm calling a JavaScript function now. On the click of it, calling a JavaScript function. What is the name? Add customer. Okay, we'll do it, guys. We'll just add that button. Next, remaining all data rows now using a for each loop. What am I passing? Then anonymous function. For the function, index. It'll take index now 0, 1, 2, 3, and the record. And here comes what? When the loop runs, first time 0, first record. 1, second record. 2, third record. Like that, the loop will be running for you, and 1 by 1 record comes now. Next, append. Append, you need to add a row now. You need to add a row. And to build that row, I written a JavaScript function separately. What is the function name? Build customer row. What am I passing? The customer object for it now. The customer record I'm passing. Means I done it in a separate function. You can write code here also. Becomes lengthy. So that's why just taken a separate function called as build customer row. See, remember guys, you can directly write the code there, or you can write it as a separate function. Choice is yours, just like C# only. You have some 10 lines of code. Write the code there. Other second option, write in a method and call the method there. That's it. Okay. So what is the function name? I have some lengthy code here. That's why just taught me, let me write a separate method. What am I calling, right? What am I passing? One record. See now, where new row. TR. TD. Align equal to center. What did you put? By TD. Next. TD. Input type is text box. Class. Input name. Value. Customer.name by TD. Okay, same way. TD. Input type is text. Balance. Next. City. Next. Status true. You have a checkbox. You have a checkbox. What is the value? Checked. Otherwise, see, checkbox without checked now. How do you make a checkbox checked in HTML? Simply we say checked. But here we did not use checked now. So here we'll get a checked text box. Here we'll get an unchecked text box. Next. Further only. Next TD. Button. What is that? Update customer. Another button. Delete customer. One button is update customer, and the button is delete customer. This is important for you guys. You want you just a lesson. When you click on the button, you want to edit a row. Which row? Current row. But row editing should be done by customer ID. See that attribute. Data-customer ID is equals to. For button only, I'm giving the customer ID also now. When you click on the button, that button only will submit the customer ID to the server. Without again picking the customer ID separately under the button only, I put the customer ID. To put that, HTML provides you an attribute. What is the attribute? Data hyphen and the attribute name. Data hyphen, just like our helper method. See, we have just used it. What's it? ASP hyphen route hyphen customer ID. ASP hyphen route hyphen name. Same concept only. Data hyphen the property name. What the property? Customer ID. So we are appending that. So now returning a new row. And this row append. Append the row now. This method will return the row here. The append will append the row now. Okay. Where did you write this code? When you want this code to execute. When you want this code to execute on body load. I want this code to execute on body load. So how did I show in MVC file? Body load I called you. Okay. Everything I'm showing you new code, guys. A new style of writing this particular code. And this is the new style of writing the code now. Watch. Document.ready. Document.ready function. What is that? Get customer. You can, oh, sorry. Understand? Document not ready. When the document is ready, call the function. Which one? Get customer. You can write like this. This is one style of writing. Second style, body on load is equals to get customers. That is another style of writing. Choice is yours. Anything is possible. Just I show you one style of coding there. That's why I'm showing you another style. But this jQuery call, sorry, this API call code is not changed here. The API coding call is same only. What is it? $.ajax, URL, type, data type, success what to do, error what to do. See, error I'm calling a function. Passing the object, the error object, request object. And here, a separate function called handle exception. For that, I'm giving this. In the handle exception, I've written the code. For what? For displaying the errors. For displaying the errors. Where you're displaying the errors? I'm displaying the errors in the label. I've shown you now there is a label. In the label, I'm showing you the errors actually. Run this, all of you, and watch. Will the code run? Yeah, I have a question before you. Will the code run? Is it going to run the code now? What is it? Controller name? Home controller. Oh, sorry. Home. Index. Not running. Why? I asked you that question only. Will the code run? You did not answer still. Will the code run? Why? A project is API project. Yeah. So explain you in MVC5 again. You do same. You body present mind absent fellows. Said you already. What is it? Your project is an API project. It's not an MVC project. It's an API project. Because it's an API project, when you run the code, it's not going to show you the output here. Right now, our project is a, so we can run only API controllers. Whereas if you want to run MVC controllers, do the following first. What? You're required to go for calling this method, add controller with views. You're required to call add controller with views. So already existing code is, but you need to change that to add controller with views. And also you need to add an endpoint for routing. These things are mandatory now. Okay. So first step, go to program class, change it, add controller need to install any assembly. No need. Add controllers. IntelliSense is not working. Okay, it's not controllers with views. This is the first step. Okay, add controller with views. Second, you're required to add the routing also. You're just required to add the routing also. Here we have app dot map controllers. Okay, we have app map dot add controllers. Just change that code. Name pattern. Name and the pattern. Home controller index. ID is optional. Okay. Check it out the output now. How did you get this? Clear? You got the text boxes there for inserting a new record. Tomorrow you want to insert a new record? You can fill in the details here. You can fill in the details here and click on the insert. That will insert the record. We did not write the code. You want to do any editing, you can modify the code. update. You can modify the code and update. You want to delete, directly click on the delete, should delete. I just designed in a different style. But how do you show in MVC5? In MVC5, left hand side you got a table, right hand side I show you text boxes. Using text boxes we manipulated. Always the client would ask you the same type of outputs to you. Depends. The client can ask you the requirements in a different way. That's why I'm showing you a different style of coding in this context here. Is everyone clear? What should I do next? You need to write the code for insert button, update button, delete button. Yes or not? For insert, you must call the post method, update, call the pick method, delete, call the delete method. We need to do the appropriate thing now. Okay. So go to view page source and observe this, all of you. Yeah, if at all you just notice it, you show your D body is empty and that's all dynamically built. That's all going to be dynamically built. Client side JavaScript Ajax. So that's why you won't see the code here at all. You won't see the code at all here. What you see is only the output. Directly the output only you will see. This text box creation code and all the things you will not see in the view page source, because this is a Ajax call. In the background it happens and the code will not be shown in the view page source. Okay, fine. Now let us write the code for. Let me close all these things, guys. Unnecessary things will close. Customer dal, customer.xml, customer.cs. Okay. Next, the second method I need to write is, look guys, add customer. I need to write this method called as add customer. Okay. And you want to pass the data in a JSON format. Correct? In C# it is a object, class object. In JavaScript also, you can define classes. In JavaScript also, you can define classes, guys. So how is it possible? We'll show you. In JavaScript also, we can define the classes. But it's a different style. We don't require a class name and all. This is how you define a class in JavaScript. Watch. Look. Just like you define a class in C#, you can define a class here also in JavaScript now. What is the name? Customer. Customer ID, name, balance, city, and status. In C#, if you write a class, what are you doing? Get and set name. The same thing, but JavaScript doesn't have data types now. Then why are you assigning these zeros and all? To recognize the type now, in C# we write int customer ID, but here we don't have int now. How it recognize it based on the value? When I say equal to 0, that's integer now. When I equal to empty string now. Balance is again number, not integer. Basically, that 0 represents number. Again, false boolean is how it recognizes. JavaScript is a little bit confusing, but still, it's very simple to use, where we don't require to define any class explicitly. That's a class now. So now I can pass this customer directly to the server. How to pass? Watch. This is the add customer function. Observe the code. Look, guys. Notice it. Where obj is equals to, you are creating an instance now. Your class name is customer now. Watch it. Instance. It is a instance. But here we don't write a new customer. JavaScript style is like this only. You write. Now obj represents your customer now. Now look at this code. You know this code now. Object dot ID is equals to dollar cust ID dot value. Next. Name equal to value. Balance dot value. City. Status is checked. It's not the value. You check it, true or false. So now watch all of you. This is going to be the object now. What's the object name? OBJ. OBJ contains all the 5 values in it now. OBJ contains all the 5 values in it now. Now look, again, where options, one empty string, means this is an object. This is again an object. What object, sir? This is anonymous type now. The class is not defined. This is an anonymous type. So in an anonymous type, you are defining all the attributes now. What? URL is a URL. Type is post. Content type is, data type is data. JSON.stringify. OBJ. What will this tell? JSON here. JSON.stringify. It will convert into JSON format now. Convert into JSON format. Success. Call the get customer. Reload. Reloads the data. And do message. In the bottom, I'm showing you your insert is successful. Error. Error while performing insert operations. $.ajax options. What is this, sir? Nothing else. To write the jQuery code, one way you can write is $.ajax and supply all the values to it. Watch. This is what we done. $.ajax and supplied all the values. Second option is, put all these values in one object and pass that object to $.ajax now. Did you understand me? You want to write 10 lines of code in a function. Option 1, write all the 10 lines there. Option 2, write all this code in another function and call it here now. Here, $.ajax, what are you passing? URL type, data type, all these things. Now also I'm doing the same thing here. I've taken something called options, an empty object, and see now I'm adding everything to it. What? URL type, content type, data type, data, what success, what all this, and directly this options is passed to $.ajax. If you don't want to write like this, what do you do? Write all this code straight away here. Are you clear? See guys, I'm showing you varieties of writing the code, because how you find the code in the real time, I don't know. Someone will write in a different way. That's why you should be familiar with all options. That's the reason for, if I want to show the same code, no need explanation. Just already explained code, I can copy paste it here. But thing is, different varieties of coding styles are there. That's why I'm demonstrating you in a new style writing the code. If you feel this not comfortable, what you'll do? Copy all, paste it here. No need of writing options directly. URL equal to, type equal to, content type is equals to, data type is equals to, data is equals to, success equal to, error equal to. Directly you can write off. But without that, I build all these things in the form of options. And finally, that options is passed for this to execute the code. Same style you can write for update also, delete also. Okay, you can write the same style or you can write in a different style. Watch now. This is code for update. Look, man, is update code. Watch. Update customer. What are they passing? What? Why, sir? Right, 2 buttons are there now. One is update button. One is, which button did you click now? How do I know? I'm reading the button there. I'm reading the button. It will provide me access to that button now. And I need the button for 2 reasons. 1, it is insert a update. 2, I want the customer ID. I already shown you. I just put that customer ID as a button customer ID there. Yes or not? Here I explained you. Where is the build customer row? Look, guys. When you're adding a button here, I'm adding the customer ID there. So 2 reasons why I'm taking the button. One is to find out whether it's update button or delete button. Second reason, read the customer ID now. I want the customer ID for update as well as delete. That is the reason why I am just going to capture the button here. Okay. Again, same story. OBJ is equals to, and now you put all the options for assigned all the values. Okay, guys, carefully observe. Button dot data Understood or not? Ray, for button we put now, customer ID is a value. I'm reading that value now. That value will come. Next. Input name, button dot parent dot parent dot value. Can you understand that code? Now, what is that button dot parent dot parent dot value? You're not directly picking the text box now. How did you pick? You're referring to the button dot parent. Dot parent. Who is the parent of the button? TD here. TD. Where did you put the button? TD. Correct? Who is the parent of TD? TR. Who is the parent of TR? Table. You are referring to the table basically, and under that you are picking the name text box and the value of the name text box now. You cannot directly refer because run this once and look the output, then you'll understand much better. Look at this now. You are clicking on this update button. Okay, now? Now I want to get the customer ID. How to get the customer ID? I don't refer to 102 because already under the button I added the customer ID. Under the button I added the customer ID. Watch here. Look, guys. This is your button now. Check out carefully. Type is equals to on click. This means the current button. See only this current button. Next, data-customer ID. You're picking the customer ID. So I directly pick the customer ID from the button only now. Say, how do you pick the customer ID? Button dot data of customer ID. I got it. Okay. Next, I want to get this name now. I want to get the name now. You want to refer to the text box. But there are 4 text boxes here. In this column, 5 text boxes are there. Leave the first one. 2, 3, 4, 5. All are having the same name only. Yes or not? All are having the same name only. The name of this text box, the name of this text box, the name of the text box, the name of this text box, all are same. What is the text box name? Watch. What is the name of the text box? See? What is the name of the text box? How many input hyphen name text boxes are there? 4 are there. Then which one you want to pick now? Which text box? You will take all the 4 and update. Huh? What do you want to update? Only current. Okay. How do you pick that? Which button you clicked? Which button you clicked? You have that information with you? Dot parent. Dot parent. Who is the parent of the button? PD. Dot parent. PR. Are you clear or not? Okay, you're just trying to pick to each and every cell now. So you're referring to dot parent. Dot parent refers to the appropriate TD. Refers to the appropriate TD. Dot parent refers to the row now. Refers to the row now. Okay, and from that you're just trying to pick up the thing. What do you do here? Input name. How many input names are there? 4. Which one should I pick? On which row the button is present, that text box should be picked now. Don't pick all the 4. You need to refer to this button, and this button is present. This means the text box which is referring to this row. The text box which is referring to this particular row now. And that is what it has to be accessed. Okay. So guys, so why you called parent? See, dot parent. The first parent refers to TD. Second parent refers to TR. And in this row, input name. And we need to pick the value of that one now. Same process. Second one, see, balance. Third one, fourth one, input status. Input status, because we have taken all text boxes here. This is how you require to the appropriate row. Last one, see, is checked or not. Again, same processing options. URL type is put, content type, data type, JSON dot stringify. Pass the object, it will convert into JSON. It will convert into JSON. Success, call get customer, display the message. Failure, finally, $.ajax. $.ajax. Now see, for delete, now I want to delete a record. Guys, watch it here, guys. For deleting, I did not go for again. I written in a normal style, see. If you want, what is the other way of writing? Just copy all this code here. What do you say? Where options is equals to, okay, now you can write it. What? See there, one by one value you can assign now. Options.url, option.type. Like this, you can just assign each and everything. Come on, help me. Options.url is equals to, same only na? Next, options.type. What is the type? Delete. Delete is the type. Next, option dot content hyphen type. Content hyphen type or content type? Content type only. Camel case. Content type is equals to, what do you write? JSON. And finally, okay, fill in all the values. Finally, pass the options here now. That's all I'm telling you. Finally, pass the options here. Or without that, right, like this. This is a traditional style. I've shown you this already in MVC5. In MVC5, this style of coding only I've shown you. Watch, guys. $.ajax URL. And in the last, see what I'm doing? I'm picking the customer ID from the button. Next, delete JSON function. Again, this all code is same only. This all function get customers and do error the message. Error will going to show you the appropriate message. Refresh. 105. Some name, James. 60,000. City is Delhi. Status. Click on insert. See the message. In the bottom, I have a div tag to display the message to you there. And it is showing you insert operation is successful. Next, I want to edit this row. I want to make it as 65,000. Okay. You want to check the XML? Data modif added in the XML, see there. Next, I want to make 65,000. Click on update. Error while updating the record. Error while updating. See, there is an error. What is error? Why your update is not working? Insert worked. Insert worked. Update and is not working. Well, let's say delete. Delete. When I try to delete also not working now. Yeah, you record right now, web add module. We record to do that. By default, we will support only select and insert, but not update and delete. If you want update and delete to work out in the web.config, you're required to just go for specifying all these details now. What? Add handler and also module. Okay, that you should do it. That's it's not working. See there, I given you that also. Okay, API service on. Host the API service on IIS and run the project using ISF server. Go to web.config in the project, and there we find a node system.web server. We need to add now. Remove. Yeah, I did not tell you this here. I forgot to tell you. In Web API project, you'll find web.config also. In Web API projects, you'll find web.config also. Because the web.config by default, we don't have any of our MVC projects. Remember, Web API projects will have web.config. The web configuration will be present here for you. Here, where to go? Handlers. Remove name, web dev. Next, modules. You also required to add modules. Below the handlers, add here modules. Add the modules. Host again. Update operation is successful. You want to check the XML? $65,000. Next, delete. Delete operation is successful. Command C, deleted in X. Is that clear? Okay. So thing is, I just shown you a regular jQuery code, but I've written the jQuery code in a new style for you right now. That's all. Okay. So consuming our core API service in an MVC controller. So this is what? Just a minute, guys. Index.cshtml. Same only, just only that version changer there. That's all. Everything same, like what I shown you. You understood this one? You can call one way in body onload. Second option, the starting you can write off it. Document.ready function get customers. Means when the document is ready, call this. You want to simplify? In the body tag, write. Already showed you. Onload is equals to get customers. So whenever it loads you, it will call you get customers. Just a few minutes, guys. Just a second. Let's see else. Okay. So right now we just seen how to call it from the same project. We called it from the same project. So tomorrow you may want to call it from a new project now. You may want to call it from a new project. And if at all you want to call from a different project, as explained for you earlier, you need to enable the cost policy. What is cost policy? Cross origin resource sharing. What I explained you by guys, by default, this cost policy should be enabled. If at all you wanted to, by default, you require to enable the cost policy. Why to enable the cost policy? Because by default, cross resource sharing is not available for you in the jQuery. jQuery doesn't support your cross resource sharing. So if at all you want to perform a cross resource sharing, compulsory you require to enable the cost policy. Until and unless you enable the cost policy, you cannot consume the code on the other places. Is that clear what I'm telling you? So what should be enabled now? The cost policy should be enabled here. Until the cost policy got enabled, the code cannot be executed on other places. Okay. How do we enable the cost policy? How do we enable the cost policy? Okay. So guys, if all you just wanted to enable the cost policy, yeah. So see, this is all what I explained you right now. By default, your project is a web API project. To make it a controllers, what is the first step? What is the first step? If you want to run our MVC controller in the startup, you require to change the code. Add controllers to, okay. If it is a 6.0 program class. Next, change the endpoint configuration code. The MVC 5, this is the endpoint configuration code. For MVC 6, say add this code just above the method. Add map controllers. App.map controllers will be there. Just to call that particular method. We can change up the code also. This works. No issues. Add this code just above the method. Method call. What is the method call? Okay. You'll find this, guys. Above that, write that code. That's it. App.map controller. Just above that, write this code. Next. Post the API service on. We'll change this, guys. Step 3 is go to web.config file in the project, and there we find a node. And under that, we find handlers node. Write the below statement inside of the handlers node. Write this below the handlers node. Okay, now under system.web server node, if you find modules node, add the below statement. If you find the modules node, write the below statement. No, if you don't find it, now write. And if you find modules, write this. You did not find modules, then write modules also. Both the two things should be added now. Okay. Now, step 4. What is step 4? After doing this, host the API service on IIS and run the project using IIS web server. Already in the notes, you have the code how to host it on the IIS. Go and verify that. Step 5. Run the home controllers index action method and test all the functionalities. Just run that and test all the functionalities. What next? Consuming the API service in hand using jQuery Ajax from another project. And you very clearly know it will not work until and unless you enable the CORS policy. If you want to consume an API service from other projects, first we need to enable CORS in our API service project. And to do that, make the following changes. First, build a dot, services dot add CORS. Where? Configure services. Configure services means above this line, right? Configure means below this line. So first you need to register that service first. First you require to register the service. How do you register? Builder dot services dot add CORS. This is what you require to builder dot services dot add CORS. Okay. Next, below. In the below, you just require to go for use this method now. What is that? Use CORS. What is that? Use CORS. Where to write? Program add CORS middleware just below the statement. On the top only, write it on the top, not in the bottom. Write it on the top. Yeah, guys. App dot use CORS. And do you remember when you are using this CORS? Remember, I said you 3 options to you: origins, headers, methods. What is it? What are the origins you wanted to consume now? What is it? You can give permission to only specific origins. I want to give access only to narashetty.com origin. I want to give access only to Google. I can specify my origins. Second one, headers. What headers? Like the headers means only if the request is JSON. I don't want to give access to the request is XML now. I want to give the request only when the content type is JSON. I don't want to give the access when the content type is XML now. Third option, methods. What methods you want to give access? Get method, post method, put method, delete method. We can tell that. So 3 options we have. How do you write? Options dot origins. Allow origin. Means you can specify what origins you wanted to allow. What origins you wanted to allow. So to simply say options dot allow any origin. Allow me any origin. Okay, like this we have all the 3 options. Allow any method, allow any header. So first allow any origin. Allow any header. Sequence is not important. Just allow any header. Next, any method. Any header, any method. Sir, if you want to allow specific origin, you can specify. Not like this. No. Just a minute. With origins. You can use this particular method, allow with origins, and here you can give the list of origins in a comma separated list. I want to give access only to narashetty.com. Okay, comma google.com, comma facebook.com. Means only these 3 can access my API now. Only these 3 can access the API. And guys, this method, what is it taking? See, params. Put that in the mind first. Params, I can pass a list of strings now. String array. Okay, so like this I can tell. What is it? With origins. No, sir, I want to give access to all. Allow any header, allow any method. Like this, we just require to call this now. Okay, so see, yeah. So now parse is enabled here now. What next? Create a new project. This here we are done. Create a new project. What project? MVC project, API project. MVC project. Add a home controller. Index action. Copy this code there. It should work there now. So check. Once build this project. After making the change, just build the project. Let it. Meanwhile, let me create a new MVC project. Create a new project. Are you first downloading the notes, Chandrakant? I got a doubt. Every day I'm uploading. Last Saturday also I uploaded the notes. Next, give a name, guys. Any name you like. Yeah, created a project. Core Web API Consumer. Earlier we created Web API Consumer 1. So now I called it as Core Web API Consumer 1. Remaining all same now. We know everything. 7. Configure for HTTPS. Do not use top level statements. Create. What do you do? Add a controller. Already we have a home controller here. I think I given the name as customer controller only. Okay, I given the name as test API controller. API controller. We have the index action now. Directly right click, add view. What you will do in the previous project, you created index.html now. Copy that code as it is, paste it in the new project. Run. Web API consumer. Web API consumer. What is the name? Test API controller. Sorry, the name is test API. Got it. Takes time, guys. First time takes time. So loaded, you see. All same again. We just got it. Okay, just watch. if I did not enable the cost policy here, comment. I'm not enabling the cost policy. Build. Okay, fine. I did not enable the cost policy. Test API. Error. Why? You can't access. You cannot access the things now. Why? The cost policy is not being enabled. Showing you this error also for you earlier. Access to XML HTTP requested so and so from origin so and so has been blocked by cost policy. No access control allow origin header is present on the requested source. We did not find this code there, so we're not able to access it. So compulsory, the cost policy should be enabled. If at all you want to call it from jQuery. No, sir, I want to call it by using C# code. No need cost policies and all. The cost policy is only for client-side code, JavaScript or jQuery. Then only the cost policy enabling should be done. I want to consume from C# and there is no requirement of enabling the cost policy anywhere. Straight away you can call it. Got the point, all of you? So let me go back, modify the code again, and build it. It takes a bit time, that's it, but loads you. Yeah, load it. You can just perform inserting, updating, reading, you can try everything. Once select works, everything will work now. That's all. Anyhow, we enable the code for update and delete also. In the web.config, we modified the code for update and delete also. Okay. So where are we calling it from? From an MVC project. We are calling it from a new MVC project. So tomorrow, someone can develop the API project, someone can develop the MVC project. Already in the MVC, in the web API classes, MVC 5 has shown you. Watch it. You'll be given with some API services. I clearly shown also airport, flight booking services. There are some public services what my client has given me. So what I should do? I need to write or develop my MVC application calling all the APIs now. The URL is given. The URL should be used in my code, and I should call the APIs now. Okay. So today we are only developing the API also. We are only developing the MVC also. But tomorrow it's not the case. Someone will give you API and your job is to build a MVC. And when you are building an MVC application, this is also decision making by the client only. What's it? Whether that's a jQuery caller or whether that should be a C# caller. That client only will tell you. Client only will tell you. It's jQuery call, it's a SPA. If it's a jQuery call, it's a SPA. Already shown you SPA. Single page application. Page won't refresh, but will allow you to do all the actions like selecting, inserting, updating, deleting. We saw that already. Okay. No, the client can ask you, no, I want separate pages. Like one page should show me the output. I want a separate page for inserting. I want a separate page for updating. I want a separate page for deleting. I want a separate page for displaying a single record. Then it's not a SPA call. It's a multi-call. And insert scenario, the best way to call is not by using jQuery Ajax. Use C# and call it. You can use C# and also call it. Right now we saw what? jQuery calling. jQuery Ajax calling. No, sir, I want a C# call. Yeah, already that also explained you. We have a class called HTTP client class. You can take the help of the HTTP client class now and you can just perform your calling now. Okay. So if you want to test that, just this is the first consumer project. Okay. What I shown you for consuming from Ajax. One more project. We'll call it as consumer 2. Code web API consumer 2. All same. Now this should be a complete MVC style of coding now. Completely MVC style of coding. Where earlier we used to load data from database, but now we will be loading the data from APIs now. We'll be loading all the data from the API. And for that we discuss methods, remember? What's it? Put a sync, get a sync, post a sync, delete a sync. The same methods. We just require to call those particular methods only to call it now. Consuming API service in MVC controller using C# code. Using C# code, how do you call it? Okay, fine. Now, are we going to have a database now? Right, do we have a database now? If you have a database configuration will generate the model class. Now, no database. You are only responsible to generate the model class. And I shown you this option also, remember? And I generally tomorrow we test it in the Postman. We copy that code, come to your application. I shown you option paste special. When it's paste special, it will generate the class for you. Yes or not? I shown you the option to you. Here we'll be finding an option called view, and a view menu. You'll be finding up editor. Okay, nothing is pointing. That's why it's not showing. Okay, go to models, add a class here. What is the class name? Customer. So here you should find up the option called paste special. Paste JSON as I clearly shown you. Copy the JSON code. Use this option. It will generate the class to you automatically. Because today 5 attributes only there are not a problem. But tomorrow on that day I shown you the airline services code. Remember? So many parameters are there, inputs and outputs. So better in that scenario, in that particular scenario, the better option is copy paste that one and use the space first option. So classes will be generated to you automatically. Okay. But today, yeah, it's not a big deal. So let me define all my 5 properties now. No, sorry. I removed up that class code there. Now. Let me copy paste the complete class code. Class is ready. What next? You require to install a NuGet package. You require to install a NuGet package. Or a NuGet package. Microsoft dot ASP.NET dot Web API dot client. And under that we have the class. What class? I explained you about this class, HTTP client class. Next, you are required to pass the URI. This is the URI. What is that I should install? Check guys, Microsoft dot ASP.NET dot Web API dot client. Microsoft dot ASP.NET dot Web API dot client. First one only. Against. Now add a controller, guys. Again, the same name, test API controller. Okay. And now the first thing you're required to do is you're required to create the instance of the class. Which class? HTTP client class. HTTP client. Client is equals to new HTTP client. Client dot HTTP client. Create the instance of it. Afterwards, what you do? You just pass the service URL. You'll be having an attribute called as service URL, and you just required to use the service URL. And guys, remember this URL, as I said you earlier, you can directly write off here, or better store this in the web.config. There is only web.config. You directly write or just take from the web.config. Choice is yours. I'm directly putting it here. But use change to web.config. Put in the web.config and read it. So service URL is equals to, I'm putting the URL. Now you can start writing the methods. First method, display customers. Display customers. Display customer. You can start writing up all the methods now. So what is the first method? Public view result, display customers. We'll write the code, return view. Next, view result, display customer, int, cust ID. Return view. Next, public view result, add customer. HTTP post. Public redirect to route result, add customer. What do you pass? Customer object. Return redirect to action. What is the action method name? Display customers. Error coming. Why not redirect to route? I said you in MVC core it is redirect to action result. It's not redirect to route result, it's redirect to action result. Next, public view result, int customer ID. Return view. Next, action result, update customer. What should pass? Customer. Okay. Lastly, public delete customer, int customer ID. Yeah. They are the methods what we require to write now. But earlier, these methods used to get the data from database. So either we are just going to write the NT framework code here, or link you code here, or ADO.NET code, ADO.NET code, some code. But today we are going to get all this data from API. We're to get the data from the API, and you need to write the code for calling the API now. Calling the API now. Okay. And to call that, recollect guys. First line. Base URL is equals to new URI, pass the service URI. I need to do it in the case of display customer also. No need for add customer, but you require for add customer post. Do I need for edit? Do I need for edit or not? Update I require edit, I'm asking. Yeah, for edit you require to load the data first now. Also for update and also for where you don't require is only add customer get. Okay, what next? Remember the method? Client dot get a sync. You are going to call the method client dot get a sync, and it's in a white method. Yes or not? You are getting error now. See what to do? How to write? I said you public async task of. Tell me. I action result. Task of I action result. This is what? Public async task of I action result. Copy this. This should be same for all this now. Not for add customers. Why add customers is not going to call any method. See, if you write there, no issue, but not required. I will change all these things now. Next. So get a sync method will get you the data now. Will get you the response. If the response is succeeded, the response is succeeded. Guys, watch. If the response is success, I need to convert the data into not customer, list of customers. So first, list of customers is equals to new list of customer, empty list. And now we are calling the method. What is it? Deserialize object. The result should be deserialized and it will come into customers. Okay, read as the string async and we'll do this. Yeah, for the second method, we need to convert only into customer, not list of customer. Here, list of customer, they're only customer. Finally, return view, pass the customers. You tell me the code now. What should I call? Get a sync of customer. So copy. Fine, huh? Wrong here. ID should be passed now. You're required to pass the ID there. The ID should be passed as a parameter. So see, I'm putting a slash here. I'm saying plus. Yeah, like the way no pass a slash and passing the cust ID. Next. See the code on the top. See the code on the top. What? If response dot is success status code. It is success status code. String result is equals to response dot content dot read as string async dot result. Read as string async dot result. Next, just a minute. Customer obj. Obj is equals to see the conversion process. Already generated the code. Here it has list of customer, but here it is only customer. Only customer. Return view. Pass obj. Or otherwise. Post you are going to call read as post async array. Sorry, we'll call like the post async. Post async as JSON. Post async as JSON. For put put async as JSON. We just have the same methods here. This coming to this code, you can compare what is shown in MVC 5 and what is shown here. Both are same code only. In code that did not change. The HTTP client class, what is given is the same coding what we tried in MVC 5 also and MVC 4 also. There is nothing difference between those and what we are doing here. Okay. If anything changed, I shown you a new style of coding with the jQuery Ajax. That also, if you want, you can try in the old style. It works. But I tried to show you a new variety of coding. You want just to follow the old process only what I shown you. It works again. Same code will work for you. So nothing issues with it. Am I clear? Okay. So anything works. Now, same way you can write code for it's add customer, edit and update, and the delete customers. Okay. We'll just can write the appropriate code. And once you write that, finally, what you require to do is create a views now. You just required to create the views. You know how to create the display views and all the appropriate things. Okay. I'll show you. We'll complete in the next session. We'll complete this in the next session, guys. Got it. చెప్పు. Huh? Just